Imagine all the people and cats living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. I tried.
It's time to rank and review another John Lennon album, this time Imagine from 1971, and this is the 2018 version, and I'm hoping, I believe I heard that in April, Plastic Ono Band remix is coming out, and then maybe they'll totally remix all of John Lennon's solo albums. That would be great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to listen. I listened to the album again last night. It had been quite a while since I heard it, but I do know it very well. And there's one particular song that might possibly be one of my least favorite Beatles solo songs, from their popular albums, the ones that I'm familiar with. But I actually enjoyed it a bit more last night than I ever have, so I'm going to play it again. And I was thinking of doing this for Patreon, having it on Patreon and do a song-by-song review. I'm not going to do that, but I might do it for some time in New York City. So become a Patreon and you can listen along with me to the next one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of dragging out my CD player, I'm going to listen on Spotify to each song and give a little mini review. Yes, I'm even going to listen to Imagine for the 110th millionth time. Now, I know that some of you out there that are Beatles fans and John Lennon fans, you're tired of the song Imagine. You've heard it enough. Maybe some of you even dislike it now. But, I've heard it enough in my lifetime, but, for the most part, I don't listen to radio, so I haven't heard it as much as maybe some of you out there have. So I'm not tired of it. I'm not sick of it. Listening to it, it still sounds fresh to me. The ultimate mix is really nice. I know that John Lennon said that this album was kind of sugar-coated compared to the previous album, Plastic Ono Band, but it's nice. The strings were just perfect in it. And John Lennon's vocals, just great vocals. He doesn't over-sing it. He's just singing the song. That's my favorite singers are either really unique singers like Captain Beefheart, Russell Mael of Sparks, John Anderson. He has a voice that some people that bothers some people. But then I love singers that are just really good singers, but they don't show off. They just sing the damn song. And that's how I look at John Lennon for the most part. And that is just, it's a classic, a great message, and what a contrast though between the opening track Mother from his previous album and Imagine. Like night and day. Next up is Crippled Inside. I always enjoyed that song, and I think now, I love it more than I did back when this album came out. I appreciate it more. I didn't know if George Harrison actually, I know he plays on this album, but I didn't realize he played on this particular track. I was wondering who did the slide guitar, and it was George, and that's awesome. And yeah, it was just a fun track. I mean, the lyrics aren't fun, but the music itself, it's really, once again, a contrast between the lyrics, being crippled inside and this kind of good-timey kind of country rock sound. But excellent. And I love that ending too. One thing you can't hide. I know. I sound just like John Lennon. I don't oversing either. Next up is Jealous Guy. I was dreaming of the past. Yeah, so on that song, George Harrison isn't on it, but Nicky Hopkins, great keyboardist, playing the piano. Alan White, of course, who went on to be the drummer for Yes. And one thing some of you might not know is John Lennon was supposedly a Yes fan. Because Alan White, he knew Alan White, and so he followed Yes's career. And he loved Yes. And also Genesis, yeah. Klaus Vorman on bass, just like on Plastic Ono Band. And two members of Badfinger, Tom Evans and Joey Molland on acoustic guitars. And those strings are nice. They're not overly... Now I'm listening to the remix, or whatever you want to call it. But still, I think Phil Spector did a really good job on this album. And John just sings it just perfectly. It's a masterpiece of a song. It's as good as Imagine. I know Imagine is the most popular song probably in John Lennon's whole solo career, but Jealous Guy is just as damn good. Yeah. I still don't know where I'm going to rank this though. Next up is It's So Hard. Once again, a great song. No problems with it. I shouldn't say no problems with it. The only problem I have with it, even with this ultimate mix, is I think it needed to sound just a bit grittier. This is where John says a sweeter album, I guess, production-wise. Just the way John Lennon's guitar is mixed, it's on the one side, and it's just not loud enough, dirty enough. It's a very clean mix, I guess. But I do love King Curtis. Yeah, King Curtis on the saxophone. I don't know if everybody loves the sound of a saxophone, but I really enjoy hearing, the horns come in. It's still a great song. No issues with it except, like I said, it could have been a little, it reminds me a little bit of Cold Turkey, which was dirty and grimy in the production. And this is, just a cleaner production. Now we get to the song. When this came out, it was the only song that I hated. I hated the song. And even, I guess in recent years, it's like I don't hate it, but it's one of my least favorite, well-known Beatles solo songs, from their popular albums, all of the solo careers. But last night I played the album again, and I enjoyed it as much. I enjoyed it more than ever, is what I'm trying to say. And so maybe today I'll end up loving it. Here we go. I don't want to be a soldier, Mama. I don't want to die. Well, after 50 years, I kind of like the song now. I certainly don't dislike it. I think the issue I've had with it through the years is the production. And I was reading up on it on Wikipedia, and it's the most Phil Spector-ish production on the album. And I'm not a fan of, for the most part, of Phil Spector's production. All the echo and everything, and the one thing, when they had that little saxophone solo, I wish that was extended a bit more, instead of John going back and I don't want to be a soldier, Mama, which we've already heard. And I love the bass in it too by Klaus Vormann. So, not my favorite song on the album, but it's good. It is good. And maybe at some point I will love the song. I'm going to go get a glass of orange juice, and I'll be back to review side 2. Next up is Gimme Some Truth. What a great song. Great slide guitar work by George Harrison. I think most Beatles fans, when this album came out and we heard Gimme Some Truth for the first time, it was like, yes, this is the John Lennon. Not that we don't mind the Imagine, the nicer John Lennon, but this is the angry John Lennon from, like I'm So Tired from the White Album. That kind of gritty vocal, and the lyrics too were just great lyrics from John Lennon. So yeah, once again a classic song. Next up is Oh My Love. That was a nice song. It was a nice song. No. And, the other thing I was thinking about last night is, how Paul McCartney needed John Lennon in his solo career. And John Lennon needed Paul McCartney sometimes. But that being said, Paul McCartney wrote some amazing songs by himself, and so did John. John could write a friggin' melody. And that song, Oh My Love, proves it. It's just a sweet song. I don't think I appreciated it enough when I was younger. I just thought, oh, it's another dorky love song. But, some of these songs have more meaning as you get older, especially my age. I'll talk about the Paul McCartney, John Lennon riff with the next song coming up called How Do You Sleep? I bet George was just beaming playing the guitar on this track. What I think about How Do You Sleep and the lyrics, it is good that they did become sort of friends again after all of this early 70s fighting. But I really think, I've said this before, I really think John Lennon was jealous of Paul McCartney and Paul McCartney's talent. Not that John Lennon wasn't talented, he was. But I mean, ego-wise, I think Paul McCartney, maybe he was jealous of John Lennon in some ways, but at the same time, he always said a lot of supportive things about John Lennon and he was so lucky to hook up with him, and he would, praise him a lot. And John Lennon wouldn't praise Paul McCartney very, very often at all. And, like he says in the song, the only thing you did was yesterday, which has, of course, two meanings. It's, just all the things you did in the past, or all you did was the song yesterday. You can take that either way. But yeah, I think John admired Paul McCartney in the way, how easy it was for him with a melody, and maybe not so much with putting lyrics together. But I think it was jealousy at this point. And thankfully he sort of got over it, and they started talking again, and yeah. But it's a great song. Like, forgetting the subject matter, the song itself, I love the guitar work in it. Do-do, do-do, do. That sounded more like a Whole Lot of Love. I can't do a riff. But yeah, really, really good song. Next up is How. Just a gorgeous song. Great, great vocals by John. And I don't know how I'm going to rank this album. One more song to go. Oh Yoko. A song like Oh Yoko, you kind of do focus on John Lennon's great vocals. But the musicianship is just stellar. I love the piano work by Nicky Hopkins, Klaus Voormann on bass, Alan White's drumming on this track and the other ones. So props to all of the musicians. Jim Keltner on drums. It's too bad that Ringo couldn't partake on this album, but I believe I think he was doing a movie at this time with Peter Sellers. When I started this ranking series, I was positive that Plastic Ono Band, that it would be ranked higher than Imagine. But no, at the moment, Imagine goes to number 1. But they're really close. They're such different albums, and I think the songs overall on Imagine are just a tad better written than, something like I Found Out or Well, Well, Well on Plastic Ono Band, which I still love. And it is a better produced album, but I love the production on Plastic Ono Band anyway, so that's what that album needed for production, just really sparse. And, Imagine was sweetened up a little bit, and it sounds great with those strings, the lush strings, and John Lennon's superb vocals throughout. And like I said, the only song that I never used to care for, I Don't Want to Be a Soldier, Mama, I Don't Want to Die, I really like it now, but it's taken me 50 years to like it. So yeah, number 1 in the rankings so far. I don't know if it'll stay there though, seriously. And next up is Sometime in New York City, not a favorite of a lot of John Lennon fans, but I'm a fan of Yoko Ono, so I like her songs on that album, and his are good too, but it's been a while since I've listened to it, so I think I will listen to it, and I'll use Patreon. I'll post the whole album on Patreon if you want to join and listen along with me for that one. Yeah. And actually, I do know the studio songs pretty well, very well. But it's the live disc with Frank Zappa and the Plastic Ono Band that I haven't played very much. And that will be included in the rankings, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I've rambled enough.